Hey guys, today I am getting this video started in the kitchen. You have already seen me with these clothes on in a video. I have made it pajama day because it was too cold to be in anything else today. I mean, I'll probably end up changing at least the shirt later because it will get too warm. But I am about to start some lunch. But while I'm starting the lunch, I'm also going to be doing like prepping for dinner, because tonight I've decided that I wanted to do like a little finger food type situation. So I'm going to go ahead and be making up some wraps for dinner after I cook mine and Jeff's lunch, and I'm also going to have some other things prepped for tonight. So I know that probably doesn't make much sense, but it will. I promise it will. I don't know what else I'm sharing today. I kind of want to make a cake that I have had a recipe. Just break everything, lady. I've had this recipe printed since 2020 and I have not made it yet. It's an oatmeal cake. But for the icing, I don't have any heavy whipping cream to make the icing. But I thought, well, I could just make a buttercream icing and put pecans in it and it'd be really yummy anyway. And maybe we could try this icing later. I don't know. But I do know that there's one thing in this icing that, or the frosting, that Jeff would definitely not want, and that is the coconut. So I couldn't add that. But otherwise, I can bake the cake and just make a buttercream real quick. Or else a cream cheese icing. I think cream cheese would be good, but I may make it. I don't know. We'll see. It's a small cake. It's an 8x8, so it's not a real big cake. And I've been wanting to get rid of that oatmeal, you know, so why not try it? So I'm going to go ahead and get my skillet out of the oven because I have it in there from where I washed it earlier today, because I didn't do anything yesterday after we got back. I didn't even clean up the kitchen. I know that's not normal for me, but I just didn't. So today I got up and I started editing videos, and I emptied all the ice trays, and I refilled my water pitcher, or water, what is this thing? Purifier? this thing over here that you can't see, that. I refilled that, and I got some clothes in the dryer and some clothes in the washer, and the kitchen's clean. I'm fixing to make it messy, and y'all are gonna come along with me. All right, let's go do this. What is happening with me today? I don't know. I'm in a really good mood. You know, a few days ago, I was in this really sad mood, and then I figured out why I was sad, and then I'm okay. Does that happen to you? I mean, I'm okay because I know why. I'm still a little sad, but that's okay. It's, if you watched that video, you know why. Things are better. I'll put it that way. Okay, so I have taken my rings off because I don't want ground beef on my rings. And I'm about to mess with the ground beef. I'm using these just because I don't want to have to wash my hands again, and I don't know why I don't use them more often. I used to use them all the time. It was what I always used. But now the pepper's not that difficult, but the salt, it takes longer to get the amount you need. So I had this ground chuck out from, I had it from yesterday, that I had taken it out to make spaghetti with. Okay, so it's a pound. It's supposed to be a pound. It does not seem like a pound doing this, because this is a quarter of it, and it still does not seem like it's a quarter pound. But I'm gonna be making us bacon cheeseburgers for lunch today, me and Jeff and myself. And then the other half of it, I'm gonna make some little mini burgers with for our meal for tonight. But it's gonna be like breadless burgers, if that makes sense. Not like you would have it's not a slider. I've done it before, but it's been a while. half of this ground chuck, I'm gonna put, let's see, how do I want to do it? I think I'm just going to, after I salt and pepper these on the other side, because I don't like one-sided food, one-sided flavored food. I might have put too much salt on that one, I don't know. But that pink salt, it doesn't have as much flavor sometimes as other salt. Anyway, I'm gonna put this in a Ziploc bag. That's what I'm gonna do. Nope, I'm not. I'm gonna wrap it. Okay. I can't make up my mind of what I want to do with it because I'm gonna be using it in a little bit. And I just don't want to waste a Ziploc bag, but I didn't want to waste the other stuff either. But it's not wasting if I'm using it for a good cause. So I'm gonna just do what I gotta do to wrap this up and stick it back in the refrigerator. But I'm not gonna stick it back in the refrigerator until I get this bacon in here. I am going to be making these are gonna be, if I can open it. Oh wow, are you serious? And it still won't open. Okay, if that's the way you wanna be. You want to be rude like that. I'm going to get to my bacon. Wow. We'll be having to get a Ziploc bag, so I'm going to get that. Before I start touching the meat, I'm going to go ahead and get that. Alright? So, for tonight, I'm going to want to go ahead and fry up some bacon for later and some for now. You know what, I might just do it all at one time, but for now this is cut oddly, very oddly, not cut very well, but we're not going to complain. We're just going to go with it. We're just going to do what we got to do to get our groceries cooked. Alright, so I think I'll just put some bacon onto the plate that I'm going to be putting back in for tonight's meal. I know Noah will not want bacon for his, but Jeff and myself will. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this bacon, cut it up and put it on this plate for later, and put saran wrap over the whole thing, or whatever you want to call it, plastic wrap. But tonight's meal, I'm going to share that with y'all too. But I'm not going to be cooking this part until later. I could have just not wrapped the first bit, but you know what? I did. So there we go. Alright, this bacon I'm going to put in the freezer bag, even though I didn't plan on putting it in the bag, and put it back in the refrigerator. It won't fit very well, so we're going to do what we got to do. Smithfield needed to make that Ziploc better. They made the one part better, or good. They made sure nobody was gonna, no air was gonna get in there, no bacteria or anything, while that it was in transit and stuff. Okay. And that's ready for breakfasts and things like that. Or whatever meal. I've come to the conclusion that I don't care what meal it's for, I'm gonna eat whatever I want, whenever I want. If I want a burger for breakfast, I'm eating a burger for breakfast. If I want pancakes for dinner, I'm eating pancakes for dinner. Actually, we were supposed to be, I was supposed to do breakfast foods for this meal, but then I ended up not cooking last night, so I didn't want the ground beef to go bad, or the ground chuck, or whatever it is, that meat to go bad or anything, and I didn't need all of it for tonight's meal. But I'm gonna be back whenever this gets done. We're just gonna eat chips with it, or maybe I won't. It's just gonna be bacon cheeseburgers. Y'all have seen bacon cheeseburgers before. I'll come back either when I'm sharing something else or whenever I share dinner. I don't know which one yet. I've got a lot of editing to do today. Okay guys, Jeff has gone on to work and all that stuff, and we're on another load of clothes, washing those and drying them, and I was about to start a recipe. I was going to make some pumpkin oatmeal muffins because the oatmeal cake I had thought about doing has tons of sugar. I mean, it's got an excessive amount of sugar in it, so for the size of cake it is. So I decided I don't want to do that. And then Noah was saying, because we were talking about grocery list, I asked him, you know, what he wanted or whatever, if there's anything he wanted, and he said something about he wants me to make a pumpkin pie. And I said, well, you know, I could make a pumpkin pie today, but I want to use the oatmeal, and that's not on the plan. Plus, I don't have a pie shell. I could make a pie shell, you know, pie crust. Mama always called them shells. I think that's what they're called in the freezer section. I don't know. Anyways, I could make a pie crust, but I had my heart set on something else. So I'm going to make a pumpkin pie later, but for now, we're going to be trying a new recipe for pumpkin oatmeal muffins from To Simply Inspire. But I ran into an issue. I don't know if, it seems like last time that I used my pumpkin pie spice, that I had put the little, I cleaned up and put the little container away that I make my pumpkin pie spice in. So I have a new container and I'm about to make some. It's so easy to make. Now, I don't ever use the cloves that it calls for, but this came from Sally's Baking Addiction. And if you want to use cloves, go ahead, but I'm not going to be. But I'm gonna get the camera down here so you can see how I make the pumpkin pie spice, and then I'm gonna, you know, rearrange some stuff and show you how we're gonna make these muffins, because I have tons of ingredients here and I can't make the muffins without having the ingredients. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna get started with this, and that way, you know, I'll have my pumpkin pie spice. I'm gonna mix up one recipe first. If two will fit in this, I may go ahead and do another one. But what you need is 3 tablespoons of ground cinnamon, and I'm using my phone, so I am gonna have to make this thing bigger. I can't see it. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 tablespoons of that, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. Oh, I thought I had ginger open. Maybe I don't. Okay, I have this in this container. I need to use it up first anyway. I don't know if it's enough, but we'll see. Oh yeah, this should be enough. 2 teaspoons. 1, 2. Alright. That way I'm not opening up a new one when I don't actually need it. Put that lid back on there. Alright, 1.5 teaspoons of ground nutmeg. And I do have some That's not gonna work. Some nutmeg that is not ground, that you know you do yourself. I'm gonna just put a little bit over a half in here because that was not a full teaspoon for the other. All right, 1.5 teaspoons of that. 1 teaspoon of ground cloves if you're using them. Not using them. And 1 teaspoon of ground allspice. Then, which this might be something that you're like, what in the world? You need a pinch of ground black pepper. A small pinch is less than 1/8 of a teaspoon. Actually, let me get 1/8 of a teaspoon. I don't know if I have one of those though. That's 1/4. Do I have 1/8? I do. Alright, this is 1/8 of a teaspoon, so it's less than that. Okay. And I know people will be like, oh, what in the world are you putting black pepper? That's a little bit less. What is black pepper in that for, you know? Y'all, pepper is good for lots of different reasons. Not just savory things, which you can use pumpkin pie spice and other stuff too. Now, I'm not against cloves. If you have them, go ahead, use them if you want to. But I don't use cloves. Hush your mouth. Noah, I'm trying to record. He said, sorry. It's alright. I'll look at it in a minute. He sent me a message. Probably something funny. He sends me funny things all the time, memes and stuff. Anyways, I don't use cloves in other recipes. So I don't buy that because I don't want it wasting. All this other stuff I use in other recipes. The nutmeg. Well, now the allspice I don't. I only bought that. Well, I use it in a couple other recipes, so I guess that's not true. But the main reason I bought it is to make pumpkin pie spice. But anyway, I'm going to use my little funnel and I'm going to put it in here. And I think this is going to be a full thing. I'm going to keep this bowl and these spoons for whenever yeah, this is gonna be full. So I think the other container that I had was larger than this one. It might have been double this size. But yeah, black pepper can be used for sweet and savory, and you can leave the clove out if you want to. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I've never had it taste funny. And if you don't want to put the black pepper in it, don't do that either. There are some recipes that don't have it in it. There's some recipes that don't have clove in it. You do what you feel like you need to do. That was a perfect size for that. There we go. Got a little bit of a mess. Alright, now I'm going to put all this stuff away. And all the things I don't need, all the spices that I don't need anymore, and come back and start with the muffins. Okay, so this is what Noah sent me. Hopefully you can read it with me moving it. I'll tell you what it says. It says, spotted this interesting car on my way to work. This looks like you pull it backwards until it clicks, then let go and it will go really fast. I thought it was hilarious. So that's the kind of stuff Noah's always sending me. Well, not always, but alright. So, let's get back to the recipe. I have my oven preheated to 375. And in the medium bowl, which is the one I have inside the other bowl, I'm going to be having, I don't know if I'm comfortable with leaving it like this, but I'm going to do it anyway. In this bowl, I put my flour. I went ahead and put my flour just because I found it easier to just do it over there. And then you're supposed to use old-fashioned oats, but you can use the quick cook oats, and y'all know I'm trying to get rid of the quick cook oats. So 1 cup of those, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Oh, that's got spice all over it, so let me get a different one. I'm finding that I'm probably going to have to change my place for having the spoons and stuff. Alright, 2 teaspoons. This is a half teaspoon, so I need 4 of these. And baking powder, not baking soda. 1, 2, 3. Alright, that's 2 teaspoons. Alright, so 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So, oats flour, baking powder, pumpkin pie spice, which is 2 teaspoons of that, so 4 of these. Okay, we're not going to be able to do it the way I was going to do it. Oh goodness, 1, 2, 3. I'm not filling this completely because I'm getting a little bit over. 4. So that's already quite a bit of it gone. Alright, so the pumpkin pie spice and salt, which is a half a teaspoon of salt. Oop. And since I don't really want to put this into there, I'm gonna, and I did get a little bit already in there, so I'm gonna go just a little bit shy of this being full, and that was a half teaspoon. So move that out of the way, and I'm gonna whisk this together. The wind's blowing a lot again today too, so y'all might hear my chimes out there. Alright, so all of this is done. Now I'm gonna move it to the side. Move this to the side. I may not even need that bowl. I didn't get my milk and eggs out yet. I could have gotten my eggs out, but I didn't, because I honestly don't know why I didn't get the eggs out, but I didn't get the milk out because I don't like letting milk just sit out. And because I didn't have any pumpkin pie spice, I totally forgot to get the vanilla out, it looks like. But that's not a big deal because I know exactly where it's at. Alright, now on to the wet ingredients, which is a cup of pumpkin puree, which I have here. Not pumpkin pie filling, pumpkin puree, just pure pumpkin, nothing else. Okay, a cup of that. Somebody has put some of, where are my spoon type things? I think whenever someone helped me put dishes away, they put them in the wrong place, and I have not been able to find them yet. Alright, pumpkin puree, brown sugar. We need a cup of brown sugar, lightly packed. So I'm reaching over here like a mad crazy woman because this thing, 1 cup. No, whenever you put my measuring cups away, I don't know, maybe you did it, maybe your daddy did it, but the ones that are like spoons, do you know where they're at? Because 2 of them are missing.
2 of them were in the dish drainer.
In the dish drainer? Where?
Where they were.
I emptied the dish drainer today.
Oh, did I?
So your daddy must have done it. Can you look in the drawer over there and see? Well, I'll do it after I'm done with this, because I don't want to make a bunch of noise. They were in the dish drainer, but now I know they're not now, because I would have seen them this morning and taken them out. Alright. I should have already had this measured. But as I said, some of my measuring utensils are disappeared. Alright, it says lightly packed. I need to put a little bit more, I feel like, to be an actual cup. Okay. Well, that came out easy. Get a paper towel. I don't normally do that, but I'm going to today. Alright, so this is a new recipe for me, y'all, so I'm sorry it's taking me a little bit longer because, you know, I want to make sure I get it right. 1/2 cup of vegetable oil and 1/2 cup of milk. So 1/2 cup of whole milk, and I know this is not a liquid measure, but you know what? We don't care. We're doing this anyways. That's maybe a little bit more. I don't like my milk sitting out. All right, 1/2 cup of oil. This is olive oil that I'm using. And I'm gonna keep this out because I'm gonna need it again. All right. The eggs, I'm gonna use this. One. I always crack them in something else because you never know if you might get a shell in. I've done that recently. You guys saw it if you watched that video, whichever one it was, I don't remember. Or there might be a bad egg. You never can tell. I don't really know why people started doing that other than that situation, but it's why I do it. I need some of this stuff out of my way. Alright, so let me make sure I have everything. Puree, sugar, milk, oil, eggs, and vanilla, which is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. This is a 1/2 teaspoon measure. I could have used the other one sitting there. And I'm going to mix this together really well. Now this is supposed to make 12 muffins. My muffin pans that I'm using today are a little bit smaller than what they normally are, like the standard one. At least I feel like they are. So there's a piece of the molasses from the brown sugar that's hardened. It's crystallized. Well, somebody gonna get a sugary treat whenever they get that. All right. You beat it until it's smooth, or whisk it until it's smooth. And now I'm gonna get a different utensil than this. I have sugar everywhere. It's really annoying me. And you slowly start adding your dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, and you mix until it's barely combined. I just want to pour it all in there because I'm afraid I'm going to overmix. Maybe you're supposed to use a mixer. I don't know, honestly. But I'm not I didn't look at that part, and I'm not an electric mixer, so I'm doing it at my own pace, I guess. It smells yummy. Maybe a little too much like allspice for me, but we're just gonna call that good. Went a little wild there. Okay. All right, that looks good to me. Now I'm going to get my muffin pans. These are ceramic ones that I got off of Amazon. I really like them. They are more fragile, and as far as I know, you cannot put them in the dishwasher. So there are drawbacks if, at least I don't think you can. I can't remember. I never do because I don't want to take a chance with them. But I'm going to use these little liners. You don't have to use liners, but I just do for easier cleanup. And I also spray the liners. I got these off Amazon too. There's like 500 or 600 or something like that, maybe 1,000, I don't know, in a pack. And I've been using them for so long, I don't even remember how long ago I purchased them. Alright, and now I'm going to spray these, just a quick little spray. I'm still getting used to this bottle. Not used to it yet. I'm getting there. I should have already gotten this. This is one of the scoops that Kathy sent me. I love them. They're awesome. That might be too much. How much am I supposed to put in here? About 3/4 of the way full, so I'm gonna have to take some out of that one. And it's probably gonna make more than 12 for me because of my my muffin pan being smaller. But that's okay. I don't care if that's that way. I don't mind it one bit. I guess I shouldn't mind if I make a mess because it looks like I'm going to. Now, because I am using a smaller pan, it will be less time, just like if you were making the bite-sized ones. So that'll be something you have to think about if you're doing this, or if you're using a larger pan like I have the big one, you have to think about that. Now, I do not plan on cooking this whole batch. See, that's 12 already, and it was supposed to only make 12. So this must be 12 big ones. I don't plan on cooking this whole entire batch today. I'm gonna do just like I did before, and I'm going to put some in the freezer. I do not know if this kind is good for freezing like that. It's an experiment for me this time. So it should be. I've never had a problem with any muffins before. But now I've got to make the streusel topping. So I'm going to grab what I need, and I'll be right back. Okay, so in this bowl I have a 1/4 cup of old-fashioned oats, which is actually not old-fashioned. So what you're supposed to have, that's not what I have. A 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, lightly packed, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of softened butter. And this is the streusel topping. I'm just going to mix this together, and I'm going to put some on each one of these, and then, of course, the rest I'll use for the rest of the batter, you know, because you need it for all of them. Don't go overboard, in other words, with your first batch if you have smaller muffins like me. So I'm just going to get this mixed together. I didn't measure it with y'all because I just didn't see a point. I am going to be linking this recipe down below so you guys can see it just like I did. And I have not veered from the recipe at all, other than Well, no, I didn't veer from this recipe. I used a different type of pumpkin pie spice, but that's all. It didn't say what kind of pumpkin pie spice, and so that's the only difference, I guess. And it's not really different, you know. To get this completely mixed up, I used a fork because I thought it would be better, but it's not good to get in those corners, or not corners. Are they even corners? Is there corners? Are there corners in round spaces? No, there's not. That's what we call them, isn't it? All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit of this onto each one, and I'm gonna get some of them in the oven. I really don't know how much to put on them because I don't really know how much this is gonna make, like the whole batch. I think that I'll be able to have 12 more muffins, honestly. So I guess I need to hold back half of this mixture and put half on these. 12 more of this size muffins. Oh, I'm making a mess because I'm reaching too far. I guess it's okay to make a mess in your own kitchen if you're willing to clean it up. And I don't have a choice but to clean it up because I can't stand the dirtiness. All right, I'm gonna put these 2 batches into the oven, and since mine are smaller, I'm gonna do 15 minutes. It says 18 to 22 minutes, but I just feel like it might need to be, you know, a little less for these. So I'm gonna start with 15 minutes. If I need more than that, I will let you know. Okay, so because I want to go ahead and get this batter in the freezer, I'm gonna go ahead and just use this muffin tin with the liners that I used before, and I'm just gonna do it the same way, except these are probably gonna be a different shape, so I don't know exactly how it's gonna work out whenever I start to make them later, but I think it'll be fine, especially if I take them out of the freezer like the night before and let them thaw some, which I have done before, so that they'll bake at normal time. Then I can just put them in the blue liners, the blue, you know, muffin thing. I don't know that I'm gonna have 12 more. We'll see. But I did spray these. I think this one is gonna be a little large if I leave it like that. Let's see what happens. Now I want to show you how I did it, just in case you want to know. What I did is I went ahead and took out my liners, figured out how many I needed, because once I do what I'm about to do, I don't want to touch the liners again. Or I should say I don't want to touch them for a little bit. So what I'm going to do is take it out, spray it, and I'll still have to clean this pan, but it won't have the oil on it like it would if I was spraying directly on the pan. Spray each one, and then I'm gonna put the stuff in. And if I don't have 12, then if I don't have 6 more, then I just don't have 6 more. Let's get all this kind of mooshed together. I don't know that I'll have 6 more, but we'll see what I have. I feel like I put too much in that first one again. Because I want them to be the same size. I won't have, I'll just have 5 in this one. which is fine. Says the woman who does not like odd numbers. Alright, get all that off that I can. And I could just bake these up in this whenever it's time to cook these, you know, when I want to bake them. I could bake them in one of these, it'd be fine. I wish now that I had not put the liner in there, because that one's now wasted, but you know, it's trial and error sometimes. I'm about to have to trial getting all this stuff into the dishwasher. I'm not sure if it's all going to fit. If it doesn't, that's fine. Alright, get my hands washed up. And put the streusel topping on what's left. And I'm going to freeze these ones. I usually freeze about half unless I'm making something for, you know, a meal or, you know, to take somewhere. I usually freeze about half of a recipe like this because we won't eat them all in the time that it calls for. And it looks like I probably could have put more streusel topping on the first ones. I might. Well, no, I'm not. I'm just going to do this. I was going to say I might go ahead and just sprinkle some on. I'll just put it on these and it'll be fine. Alright. Now I'm just going to freeze these. Just as they are. And I'll take them out and put them, I should probably wait to wash my hands, but I can't stand the way that stuff feels on my hands. But I will take them out and put them into a freezer bag probably tomorrow. And some of the streusel will fall off, but what I'll do is I'll just put it in that bag with them, and then I'll just put it on whenever I start to bake them. I don't waste it. So I'm gonna stick these in the freezer now. Okay guys, this took the full 22 minutes for this size. And what you're supposed to do is put them on a cooling rack. And close, well, I'm not going to close the oven all the way. I'm going to turn it off and let that heat come up in this house. Alright, so put them on a cooling rack, and it says remove from oven and place on the muffins on a wire rack to cool. Wire cooling rack to cool. It doesn't say how long, so I'm just going to let them hang out. Now I don't know if you're supposed to take them out of here, but y'all, that's too hot for me to be playing with. I'm going to leave them in there for a minute. Unless I got a fork or something to get them out. Yeah, I might do this. Yeah, I'm going to do that and take them and put them on the rack. I know I'm not putting them on the rack right this second, but I'm going to move this. And then I'll put them on the rack. Well, just fall down then. Okay, thanks. They are nice and fluffy. They smell delicious. Some of the streusel came off. That's normal. But this pan, these little pans are heavy. So I don't really want it sitting on my cooling rack too long because I don't want it to bend it. It's already bowing it in the middle. It's got it all bowed up in the middle. Alright. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to talk to y'all. about some little things it says. There's little notes at the bottom of this recipe. One of them says store any leftovers in an airtight room. No, let me start over. Store any leftovers in an airtight container at room temperature for 3 to 4 days. All right, so another thing you can do is freeze any leftovers in a freezer safe container or bag up to 2 months. Now, my preference is to freeze them before cooking because they always just seem better that way to me. I'm gonna move this and then I'm gonna spread those out some. Have a little taste of the streusel. Oh, that was good. Okay, I'm gonna spread these out some now so they can have some air around them to cool off some. There we go. All right, so let's see what else does it say. Let me get this up here and I can talk to y'all about what it says. I've been watching Fallon and Titus's last video from yesterday. I haven't got to watch it yet. Been too busy today. Let's see. Make sure to measure the flour accurately using a spoon and level method or a food scale. Adding too much flour will result in dense, dry muffins. I did that. I always do that. Use quick cook oats if you like less texture. That's why I didn't think it would be a problem using quick cook oats, because it said that. Make your own pumpkin spice. Oh, there was a recipe here. I didn't even pay attention. Or swap it for 1 1/4 teaspoons ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon ground cloves. That's exactly what you need for this one recipe. So it says to make your own or swap it. Kosher salt is best. And no, kosher salt is a preferred salt for baking. Make sure you use pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie filling. Add a 1/2 cup of, oh man, we were gonna add chocolate chips. No, we forgot to add the chocolate chips. Oh well, we'll try it next time. Or white chocolate chips. Swap the light brown sugar for why do I keep adding words? Redonkulous, that's why. Swap the light brown sugar for white sugar or dark brown sugar. Okay. I don't think it'll be the same with white sugar though. But okay. Swap vegetable oil for an equal amount of unsweetened applesauce for lower fat muffins. Y'all know I don't have no applesauce around here. I need to have some. Use any milk you'd like, or even a non-dairy milk like soy, almond, or oat milk if preferred. You can swap eggs for 1/2 cup unsweetened applesauce, or use oil as directed. I would not swap out both oil and egg for applesauce or Greek yogurt. So there's that. I'm gonna link this. I want to taste it, but I gotta let it cool, so I'll be back. No temptation yet. Or I should say no temptation fulfillment yet, because I'm tempted, but I don't want to burn myself, so I'll wait. Okay, so it's been a little bit. They're not cold, but they're cooled. So I'm gonna try one. It smells so good. Get me a little saucer. I should have already done that. The reason why I'm getting a saucer is because I don't want to lose any of the yummy streusel topping, which, like I said, when I was doing it, I probably should have put more on here. And this one didn't fall apart like the other one did the other day. Can you focus? That's what it looks like so far. See, the toppings falling off. All right, I'm going to show you the inside. Definitely not dry. Oh, I got to touch my screen. Come on, work. Work. It's not working. It sees me and it's trying to focus on me. There we go. Oh. That thing's screaming at me. Okay. I'm going to taste it and see what I think. That's good. Ooh, almost knocked one down. That's good. Now, I did forget to put the chocolate chips in there because it's not actually something in the actual recipe. So you can do this thing. But I think they're good. I think they're yummy. And we will be keeping that recipe. I think they're very yummy. I'm going to take one to Noah and let him see what he thinks. And I'll tell y'all whenever I come back to do something else. Okay guys, I'm about to do supper. What I'm going to do first is, I probably should have kept the camera and everything over there, because I'm going to do the like roll up thing first. And then I'm going to cook the little bunless burgers, the breadless burgers, whatever they are, the bite-sized burgers. For me, it's like 3 bites. For Jeff and Noah, they can pop it in there as 1 bite. I mean, I'm the loudest person in the mouth, but I have the loudest person in the house, but I have the smallest mouth. I can't choose, but I can't bite as much off. Anyway, let's just quit being weird and keep being weird. How about that? Let me get some stuff out of the refrigerator that I probably should have already gotten. I've shown y'all this before, but some of you might be new. You might not have ever seen it. It might give you an idea of something you could do for the holidays, for like a charcuterie board or something. Okay, so I already have the grapes washed and everything, and so I'm going to use those. You know, they'll be there. I'll show y'all my plate afterwards, so you can get an idea of what could be on a big charcuterie board, you know. But anyway, I got grapes, I've got the mandarins, I've got some of both of that. For the little burgers, I have onion, cheese. If anybody wants pickle, I've got little, like the little gherkins, dill pickles, whatever they're called. I usually have like the sliced hamburger dill. I don't know if I have any of those, so there's that. Let's see what else. For the roll-ups, I've got ham or turkey. And I'm gonna do some turkey, some ham, because Noah prefers turkey. And I have different kinds of cheese, but I'm just gonna use one kind so I don't have to open multiple. And let's see what else. I've got the bacon, but Noah doesn't prefer bacon. So I'm just gonna put mine together and show you my plate after I show you how I prep or prepare a couple of the things. That's what I'm gonna do. There we go. So let me get everything together and I'll be right back. You can go ahead, get the sugar. You gotta make the tea. Okay, so this is what I am gonna be doing. And Noah is in here so he can tell me how many of these that he wants. So all I do is put a piece of cheese on the tortilla. Now some tortillas are bigger, so I might use 2 pieces of cheese, but this is a small one, so I'm just gonna use 1, and it's gonna be plenty, or it should be anyways. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. All right, and then he likes turkey. Like I told y'all, he would rather have turkey than ham, which is probably better for him anyway. And so, when did you open this, Noah? Didn't you eat a sandwich a couple days ago?
Yeah.
Well, then that's probably when you opened it.
I don't remember which day.
Well, it wasn't that long ago, because I remember you eating a sandwich. Alright, so then you just put however much meat you want on there. I don't want to put too much, because if I put too much, then it's going to not roll properly. It's going to be like a mess. So I just fold that over, and then I just start rolling it as tightly as I can. Alright, and then, now, there's some turkey. If I am going to have this for, like, say I'm taking appetizers somewhere, I would cut this into, well, first of all, I would put a toothpick in there, and then I'd put one here, one here, one here, and one here. So then I would cut between the toothpicks. Noah, you want me to cut yours up so I can show them how I'm talking about? Okay. Let me grab some toothpicks. They're so far away. toothpicks are so far away. All right, I'll just show y'all what I'm talking about with his. This thing does not want to give me my toothpicks today. And I used to use the color toothpicks because I thought they were so neat. And I think I might still have some. I don't know. I think if I do, there's not many. But I might have just got rid of them. Alright, so I stick one in. This is just to hold it together. Then I stick a couple more in. And then I stick a couple over here. Okay. There's one there. And I need a knife. And then I just cut it. If I'm trying to be fancy, I would take this one and rewrap it some to make it wrap tighter. And I would also cut it to where that it would be, you know, even. But for just tonight, I mean, you can cut it smaller if you want to, but for just tonight, for us, I don't think Noah cares. How many of these you want, baby? Like, do you want two? Two? Okay. Now there is other stuff too now. Okay. Do you want the other stuff?
Not much, if any, really.
The burger thing, you don't really want it?
I thought. Can you just patty?
It's like the breadless burger, the little bitty with the little piece of cheese and the onion.
See, the entire time I thought you were gonna wrap the burger with the shell somehow.
Oh, you thought I was mixing the burger and this together.
Yeah.
No.
But I'll take one of those.
You want two of these, and then I'll just let you pick however many of the burger things you want. How about that?
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of this meat on here, even though it's probably too much, just because I just want to get rid of this pack. Because I don't want to leave like two little pieces in there, which is what would happen. Alright. I'm not going to cut this one into little pieces, though. Alright, he doesn't care anyways. Now, you can leave it like that if you're just eating it for lunch or whatever, but what I like to do is to cut it in half to make it, like, easy to eat. That's what the inside looks like. So there's part of his meal. And honestly, I don't even know if I want to have one of these right now. So I'm not going to make any more right now. I'll just make Jeff's whenever he gets home, I think is what I'll do. And I'm just going to go ahead and make the little burger things. Oh, I didn't close that. That will never work. Okay, I'm just not going to make Jeff's right now. I'm going to wait till he gets home. That way it'll be like right. I mean, you can make them ahead, but I don't know for sure if he wants it right now. Or I don't know if he wants it at all, honestly. Because he might just want the little burger things. And another thing I do is I have like, Noah, you want to go ahead and eat this, baby? But if I don't make me one, I can't show you my charcuterie plate. I just won't show y'all. It's okay. I'll make a whole charcuterie thing sometime soon and show y'all all that. Like, while Jeff is off work, we'll have a bite night. If that makes sense. Alright, let's go over to the other part. Yeah, I think the best thing would be, well, first of all, for me to get this pan hot. But the best thing would be for me to do like a complete bite night or whatever you call it, to do like a snack night or whatever for one of our meals and show y'all what I'm talking about, because we'll end up doing that anyway, because we like to do that whenever Jeff's off work, to just have something fun like that, or whenever he's on first shift, which he'll be on first shift. But you know, I've done this before, so But this is just an idea of some stuff you can do. And Noah's like, I'm still full from the other this afternoon. Because, I mean, it's been a couple hours since we had that. But y'all, I'm not even really hungry. I know I probably need to eat some kind of protein, but I'm not really hungry. Alright, so I'm going to get this bacon in here. He probably won't even, he's already eaten his other. He may not even eat any of this. This is going to take up the whole thing. I shouldn't have put the salt and pepper in yet. Alright, I'll wait and just do part of it. I'm going to do these. Alright, so this is a half a pound. And this is going to be small. It's going to be like, you know, bite size type situation. It shouldn't take long at all for them to get cooked. And I have done this in like little balls and then, you know, cook them. Like doing like this. And then just smash them. Would be really great on a Blackstone. Really simple. It's just fun food, you know, to have every once in a while. Maybe we'll have some family over and do something like this and have a game night, play card games and stuff. We haven't played any card games in a couple weeks because Jeff's been working. So, and that was fun getting that going again. Being able to do that with family. The dishwasher's gone wild. I don't know how many of these I'm going to be able to make with a half pound, but we're going to make as many as we can. And Jeff and I are supposed to go grocery shopping tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm going to take the camera with me, but y'all will get a grocery haul at least. I know some of you like the shop with me's. Put a little bit more with that one. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How did I get an odd number? Who knows? It doesn't matter. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, you might as well say that one of these is not 1, but it's 12. Alright, we'll cook that up. Well, I've got to put some seasoning on the other side of that meat. Gotta wash hands very thoroughly whenever you handle raw meat. I want to flip those over so I can do the other side, but I guess I'll just have to wait. My hand wasn't dry enough to touch the salt though, because it stuck to it really bad, but that's okay too. Alright, we like pepper. We are generous with pepper. Right, one thing about these burgers is you will be able to flip them with a pair of tongs. They will be super easy to flip like this. And they're not going to shrink up too much because of it being brown chuck. They shouldn't anyways. They might. Let's get these in there. This is one reason why I like using the grinders, because you don't have to wash your hands between, you know. But I don't always use the grinders. Right, I went ahead and washed the tongs because I had touched the raw meat, which I'm going to be touching the raw meat again in just a second whenever I flip that. Part of it raw. Anyways, partially raw, mostly raw. Okay, let's not talk about it. Let's just do our job and get the things cooked. It's my job anyway, and I like it. See, these are thin pieces. I don't know why they're so thin. But this is why I cut them up into short pieces. Is so they could, which they're going to still be a little bit big, but you could put a toothpick through the bacon, through the meat, and like through the onion and all that stuff. I'll show you a little bit. But like I said, we'll do some night where we have finger food. I always like doing that because it's fun. I enjoy, let's get this up here. Stop looking at that. I have killed another battery. I only have 2, but I've charged it every time. This is the 3rd time. How long is this video going to be? I don't know. Anyway, I enjoy doing stuff like this, like having finger food sometimes, having fun foods, having simple things that are really not that simple, but they seem simple. They're just fun. It's just fun to do that. It's like a party on a weeknight. So I'll be back whenever this gets done. Then I'll show you how I put a couple of them together, at least one of them together for me. I'll show you how I put it together, and later I will show you the whole situation of different things again. Like I'll even show you how I usually do the charcuterie thing and all that. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. It'll be fun, I know that. So I'll be back whenever this is finished, because this battery about to die. Okay, so I've already got the bacon on top of those. So what I would do is put a piece of cheese on the ones that needed the cheese, if anybody wanted the cheese. Okay, Noah does not want any, so there's that. And then he just doesn't want anything right now. He's full. Get back on there. It's still hot, the pan is. I'm gonna have 3. And as it is right now, I think it would be considered keto. Not sure. That's just what I think it might be considered. Alright, and then I have some little pieces of onion. I like the smaller pieces because I like a little bit of onion on mine, but I don't want a big bite of onion. And I'm not going to put the toothpicks in. I normally would, but I'm not going to do that today. But I'd normally stick a toothpick in there, but I would put a piece of lettuce and pickle with it. And we have tried tomato. It doesn't work too well. Now, Roma tomato might work, but other tomatoes don't. So I'm going to have that and some grapes. That's going to be my dinner. And I'm going to let that cool off and I'll put it away. That's it. That's all I'm going to have. Because I just don't want anything else. And I know I said I was going to show y'all, but y'all, I'm not making all of it because we're too full. I would normally cut up like bell pepper, or else those little peppers, the little sweet peppers, or I would I would cut up cucumber. I would have cheese and crackers and all the stuff. But it was not a good idea to make the muffins today. Because now we're not hungry at all. So I'm just gonna fix me some tea. And here, let me see. Let me get back up here. It just was not a good day to make the muffins and everything else. But I mean, it's okay. It's not a big deal. We know our limits. We know that if we would have made everything I was going to do today, it'd have been too much. And it wouldn't have been wasted, but we'd had to have it later. But it's a really fun thing. So I will share it later. I will just share it later. Probably, I don't want to say next week, but maybe the next week. Because Jeff will still be on the shift he's on right now. No, it may be next week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I think it'll be fun. It's a really good thing to do like the night before Thanksgiving, or for New Year's Eve, or for like for Christmas Eve, for things like that. Any time of the year, but like for whenever you're gonna have a lot of cooking to do later, you can get a bunch of this stuff together and fix it up ahead of time and be snacking on it while you're preparing other things. Is fun. But anyway, sorry I didn't do everything I had planned today, but I hope you get the idea and hope you're okay with that. But I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. I will leave that recipe link down below. It is really good if you like pumpkin. If you don't like pumpkin, don't even try it. But it is really good, and we do love pumpkin, and pumpkin's good for you. So I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. If you don't mind, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. And if you have a prayer request, you can leave that down below as well. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.